Okay, well, yes, I am back. I did say I wouldn't be, based on the results I got from the last episode. I made a couple of bets for myself, and I've reneged on those bets. But you know what? I just figured I couldn't go and just leave this mid-season. I had to at least try and finish the season for all of your benefit. That's really why I'm doing it, is for you guys. All the tens and tens of people that are watching along with this series and enjoying this content. Thank you. We've had another subscription to the channel since the last time I spoke to you, which is absolutely bizarre but fantastic. Thank you very much. I'm just going to keep playing. Just going to keep seeing what we can do on this Ayrton Senna Super Monaco GP2 career mode. If you have enjoyed the content, then join those that have subscribed. I know that we've done some better numbers the last week or so, and we've generated a little bit of interest. So if you are one of the people that is watching these videos, yeah, give us a subscribe because that would be really helpful. And as I said, it's really motivating to see that people are watching. We finished 6th in this qualifying for Belgium. I should really start talking about the race, shouldn't I? But I've noticed and noted that there is a correlation between how much I talk about the races and how poorly I do. So I'm trying not to talk about the races too much in order to avoid that. It's been a poor season. It's been a very, very poor season, but I'm going to finish it. I'm going to definitely then take a break for a week because I think this is basically going to be 5 weeks in a row where I've put out an episode every single weekday. I don't expect to be able to continue doing that if I carry on playing this game. That's not to say that I'm finishing this career mode. I'm just going to take a break for a week, probably come back with another season. But in the interim, I am going to do something else. I'm going to try and work a few other things in to the schedule to kind of just, yeah, do something different. I've been talking about doing something different for a while, and I mean something very different, not motor racing based, although there is another motor racing based game that I would like to play actually, but it's not going to, I don't want to do it for next week. So if you've got any suggestions for the kinds of things you'd like to see, maybe not a specific game, because I'm no kind of a gamer. I'll never pretend that I'm any kind of a gamer. I'm more a person who likes some video games from when I was a child. That is probably the best way I can kind of describe myself and put a label on what this channel is going to be. So for that reason, don't necessarily give me specific games unless there's anything really specific you want, especially that was on the Mega Drive or Genesis that I can play. But I think the main thing I'm looking for is the type of game you want to see, like a platform game, strategy game, I don't know, whatever, some other sport. Because there are other games that I really enjoyed. I have got some things in mind, and I probably will play one of those things that I've got in mind next. But we'll see what you come up with. If there is any in the comments, if there is any suggestions, and I like them, then we may well play one of those type games that you've suggested. Anyway, let's get back to this race. We're in 5th place. We've got 3 laps left. Schumacher's just ahead of me. I've got to remember that I'm in a Tyrrell these days, so I'm not in a race car that theoretically should win races anymore, like we have been for most of the time in the past. Yeah, today we're kind of really at a low ebb for us. We just hit Schumacher though, and he's fallen behind us, which is lovely. 3 seconds ahead of him. Now it's just, let's try and finish as high as we can. I don't know what my ambition for the rest of this season is, given everything that's taken place. And I don't know, as I say, I'm feeling a lack of pressure simply because we've no chance now in the championship race. There's no chance of us catching anybody really. We could finish higher than where we are, which I think is 4th at the moment, which I will obviously be looking to do, but the pressure's off because I'm not kind of challenging Senna for the title. I'm not in the need really to get 6 points or 10 points in this race. I just need to kind of get as many points as I can and beat my rival. I'm going to probably beat my rival. He's quite a long way behind us. So now it's just, can I, how many points can I get from this race? A race that I've always enjoyed, Belgium, which I'm pretty good at. We're on the final lap here. I think that is probably the last overtake we're going to do. Third place would be very good in this Tyrrell. Feeling so philosophical again, I think, about this game. I think the last, God, maybe as many as 5 episodes or so, I've just been feeling very down about it. Just been a really awful period. I've just been feeling very intense about it. I think that's because I've been in the belief that I could finish the game by winning the championship, finish this series, move on to something else. So I thought, actually taking a break will make this game more enjoyable when I come back to it, and make it not so intense, make it so that I don't actually have to win the championship and finish the game. Maybe I'm happy to just keep going for as long as I can. So we finished 3rd there. That's not bad at all. We've beaten our rival. We are 4th though in the championship. Look at Dufay and Bloom are actually on Senna's tail. Is it possible that Senna might not win the World Championship this year? I doubt it, but we'll see. I can't believe my eyes, says the Tyrrell guy, and that's fair enough because my previous performances have not suggested I was capable of that. We go to Italy next. We get to select our rival again. I think we'll go for Benetton again, mainly because this track is very much based around power. Don't get fresh from me, says Schumacher. He's getting riled, getting rattled by the win we just got against him. Yeah, the power. This is a power-based track, and I can't match that really with many cars above me. Probably can with the Benetton though. So kind of just like, okay, let's just try and beat him again. I'm looking for an easy life in this episode, and apologies if that makes it feel like I'm taking this less seriously or I'm not approaching this with the same intensity as I have done some of the previous episodes, but it's just the way we are. The position we're in right now is that we can't win this championship, right? So we're just trying to have a little bit of fun with it, get as good a position as we possibly can. And this is the only way I could see to do it, really, was to just, remove all the pressure. And when I say the only thing I could see to do it, what I mean is the only way I could see to continue the series was to try and just get through this season with a couple of episodes that are going to be a little bit more laid back, ultimately. So, in 5th position, he's in 2nd, the rival, but I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the traffic doing something like that, which is going to be a problem in Italy, because now I'm 13th and we haven't got the same pace in the car as Schumacher has. So we've got to come through a lot of traffic now, and we've just hit another car, which means that the thing I said we've got to do, we already haven't done. So yeah, 7.5 seconds behind Schumacher to start this race. It's still just as frustrating though, even when I'm not actually that worried. It's still just as frustrating to hit those other cars. That will never not be annoying. My inexpert game style is not built to avoid other cars. So just use the slipstream there up to 11th. I'd love to know let me know in the comments if there's anybody out there who's actually watched every single one of these videos and been able to trace the descent of my mood as the game, the longer I played the game. Up to 8th. This is better. 6 seconds behind my rival. This is the problem. It's so hard to catch more powerful cars on this circuit because of, the fact that it's just all straights, and I'm obviously stronger on the turns. We are in 8th position. My rival's in 4th. He's 5.5 seconds ahead of me. Used the slipstream there to get past that one. I think I can still do this without any real kind of intensity. It isn't one of those things that you really need to just perform brilliantly at, especially given the amount of the race that was still left when I dropped all that time to Schumacher. We're up to 6th, and Schumacher's about 4 seconds ahead of us. It's a bit different when you're trying to catch Senna, But when you're trying to catch Schumacher, it's not quite so hard. I mean, I've got to avoid the curbs though. This is one of the things on this circuit you've got to kind of do is you've got to absolutely maximise the speed at which you go through any turns and and as you make your way down the straights. And so, and obviously you got to do that all the time, but it's especially important here at Monza because of the fact that it's all just a straight line, all pretty much accelerator on for the entire race. So, gone past him into fifth. Bit worried about a collision there, but it didn't happen. 2.7 seconds behind my rival. 2 laps to go. I think this is possible. I just took that turn as well as I can possibly take it without crashing. Looking good. I still think, I mean, this might be a little bit of a grandstand finish. We've seen this before in Monza because it's such a slow burn to catch cars ahead of you sometimes that it can be quite dramatic. So this might still be quite a dramatic finish to this race. And I really do need the win here against my rival because we know what's next. It's Portugal, and I can't do Portugal. Well established in this series by now. So we gotta get a result here. And I think a result, obviously, beating the Benetton is all I'm really trying to do. Trying to make sure that we get a better car for next year. But the problem is we could be going into next season in a Benetton. If we stay where we are in the championship as we enter the final lap, if we stay where we are in the championship, we probably will wind up in a Benetton for the next season, which might not be good enough, really, for what I want to do, which is win the championship. So still could do with more points than just beating the Benetton. We're second ahead of them now. No problem there. We're not going to catch, I don't think, third. We'll try. We'll try. We're not giving up. But, yeah, that's not probably going to be enough. And to be honest, the 3 cars ahead of me in the championship are that much further ahead of me than they usually would be because Senna's not dominated this year that I'm not going to catch them. Anyway, 4th in the race. Not quite the grandstand finish we were hoping for. Not bad, but it wasn't super climactic. We remain 4th behind those 3. In fact, we're joint 4th because Bloom is the guy in 3rd. How's he done so well in that Benetton? Okay, we're 5th, joint 4th in the championship. Tyrrell's still happy anyway because we beat Benetton again. And we go on to Portugal, which we should prepare for the worst because, we're not going to do that well. And I think what I will do as a consequence is challenge Ferrari instead of Benetton. I'm thinking that if we go after the Ferrari instead, then obviously we won't lose to the Benetton, who I'm trying to beat. And it looks like I'm targeting him to replace, actually, because I don't really see that there's an alternative at this point. Okay. We know we're not the best at this. That wasn't too bad. Just had a message come through on my phone, which is really annoying. It's just out of eye shot, and I can't quite see who it is. So I've got to finish this lap first. It's lucky we're not in the race. Otherwise, that would have been a really difficult situation for me to get into. So we are 8th in qualifying. Not too bad. And message was nothing. So 6th, we're 8th. Sorry, Jeremy's in 2nd. We're not going to catch him. Let's just see what we can do. I think this race today, in this episode, the last of our episodes today, will be really just about me improving at this track, seeing if I can figure out a way to drive it that doesn't end with me, way down the order. What a start that was, by the way. Well, we're in 4th. I mean, my rival's in 1st, which is pretty impressive given that he's in a Ferrari. That has been a really good first lap, though. I mean, I've never started this race so well. I don't believe I can catch these 3 ahead of me, but that's about as good a lap I've ever done in Portugal. I managed to avoid all the traffic. I took the 2 turns reasonably, not like amazingly. And we're in third somehow, despite crashing into somebody. Yeah, this is where it starts to go wrong. We are down now to fifth. I would be absolutely ecstatic with fifth, I've got to be honest with you. And now we're up to fourth again. We somehow got away with that one. I thought we were going to collide. We didn't. We're in fourth. Lap 3 is about to start. Yeah, we're not going to catch those above us. They're beyond us for now. Instead, we're just going to try and do the best we can. And there they are again. Managed to sort of catch them up again. Now, this has been a revelatory attempt at Portugal today. I mean, this is clearly the trick. Is basically gets to the point where there's really nothing to lose, and so you've got no pressure on you, and then you do quite well. Anyway, we are still in fourth. We're not looking likely to catch those ahead of us, but a fourth place today would be very useful indeed. There he is. Ferrari's just gradually inching his way away from us as these laps get counted down. But I'm very pleased with how this is going. Really, I mean, 3 points at Portugal is like 10 anywhere else for me. I think if I could do this in a season where I'm competitive, it would be very useful. So, yeah, I can't complain about how this has gone today. I'm feeling very positive about it. That was almost my race over. Thankfully, got away with it. Still got to get around this second turn in the lap, and then we've got one more lap to go. But yeah, this is giving me hope for the future, which is what these 2 episodes are about. Really, is rebuilding some confidence and making us believe that there's still a championship out there to be won at some point in the, if not near future, then distant future. And I say that because I am now concerned about what car I'm going to get for next season. I think it will be a downgrade on what I had at the beginning of this one, which means oh no, our rhythm's really gone now. In danger here of being caught by those behind us. And we're down to fifth. So we messed that up. But you know what? I'm still really positive about this. Because it's not at all what I expected. I really thought we'd do a lot worse. We're going to get fifth. That's 2 points in a Tyrrell as well, in Portugal. Yeah, that's about as good as I think he's going to get from me. Even though it wasn't the best lap time I've run around Portugal, I'm pretty happy. 2 points, and obviously we're now below Jeremy in the championship. Yeah, I'm really concerned about what car I might get for next season. Looks like tough going out there. It was tough going, but it was better than usual. And that wraps up this particular episode. I think it was our 24th episode today. Thank you very much if you made it this far for watching. Spain, Japan, and Australia to come in the last episode of the season. We'll be doing that, and as I said, next week we'll be taking a break and doing something else. Let me know what it is you want me to do in the comments. Until then, take care.